Welcome my good smelling friends, Ify here. Today we're going to take a look at some high quality inspired by fragrances. So this new brand called Seneca, coming all the way from Australia, approached me and asked me if I want to do a review on their high quality inspired by fragrances. So I said yes, and I have chosen 3 fragrances. One inspired by Creed Aventus, because let's face it, that DNA and Creed Aventus inspired by fragrances are still going hard. The next one I chose was Elysium by Roja, and the third one was Creed Virgin Island Water. And I'm going to discuss more my picks while I'm going to go through the fragrances. These are on the more expensive side of fragrances or inspired by fragrances. So I was expecting a high quality, something that could compare with the already established brands that are making inspired by fragrances but expensive ones, and they are good. I can confirm that these fragrances are of a high quality. But before I go through them, let me show you the packaging and the bottles. So this is the box in which the fragrances came. It's all cardboard and it protects the bottle which sits inside like this. The bottle itself, it's pretty simple. I mean, look, it's simple and clean. One more important detail that there is to mention here is that on the box it says the fragrance that this was inspired by. So these are the 3 bottles that I have chosen, that they have sent me. Initio is their version of Creed Aventus. Imperium is their version of Roja's Elysium, and Aqua vitae is their version of Creed Virgin Island Water. Their bottles come in this size, which is a 60 ml, and also they have a 10 ml size. The 10 ml size go for $29 and the 60 ml size goes for $89. And now that we have gone through the basics, let's get to my actual opinion on the fragrances. And if you have been watching my channel, you all know by now that them sending me the fragrances won't affect my actual opinion on the scent or what I'm going to say on this channel. I've chosen Imperium, which is their version of Roja's Elysium, because I have already smelled something of a high quality from other brands, so I could compare. Of course, I did the same thing with Initio, which is their version of Creed Aventus, and I have chosen Aqua vitae because I have smelled Creed's Virgin Island Water. I think it's great, it smells great, but I don't think it lasts that long. So I wanted something that could get me that smell but last longer. Let's actually start with this one, Aqua vitae. And I know this is not very important to you, but I do appreciate the fact that they have given original names to their fragrances. I know how hard it is to find genuine original names for your fragrances, especially for these inspired by fragrances. I appreciate the fact that they didn't try too hard to give hints by naming their fragrances like other companies do. Some companies are giving such ridiculous names to their inspired by fragrances so that their customers will know which scent profile will they get with that exact fragrance. So, for example, I've seen fragrances named like Aventis instead of Aventus or Adventure. Some other companies which are producing inspired by fragrances don't even bother naming their fragrances. They're just giving their fragrances numbers. So you have to go on their website and see what exact fragrance is matching the number on the bottle you have bought. So Aqua vitae, I did a recent side-by-side comparison because I recently checked again Creed's Virgin Island Water for the sake of this comparison and for the sake of me reminding me of how good that fragrance smells. So the difference would be, and there are differences, guys, and the main difference in all their fragrances and in all inspired by fragrances in general will be that the opening is the most different. in the dry down they will become more and more similar. It's the same case with most of Inspired by Fragrances. And with Aqua Vitae, it's the same case. It's the same story. The original Creed Virgin Island water starts off like a fizzy tropical drink smelling like coconut and lime and citruses, while this one goes a bit citrusy but goes straight away thick like a lotion. But I don't mind that because this one performs really good, and I would trade that Creed Virgin Island water opening with the much better performance. And in the dry down, they're very similar. I'm getting lots of coconut for a long time, and that's what I was looking for in this fragrance, and this fragrance actually delivers. When Creed Virgin Island water switches from that tropical drink to a tropical lotion, that's when these two fragrances become very similar. The next one, Imperium, which is their version of Roja's Elysium. I think it's also very good. It's also very close to the original, and again the difference will be in the opening, where this one is sharper, has a sharper and a louder citrus, where Elysium is lighter and softer and more balanced in terms of projection. This one projects really loud in the opening, and then it settles down, but will still project nicely, but it will become more settled down like Roja Elysium. It's really similar, and also this one very good performance. And the last one is Initio, which is their version of Creed Aventus. With this one I got a really nice opening, a different opening from the other Inspired by Creed Aventus fragrances that I have smelled in the past. I'm getting sort of a melon-like opening. I think it's mainly because of the higher quantity of blackcurrant that it was used in creating this scent, and then it dries down to the traditional fruity batch Aventus. I'm getting a fruity batch from their version, and they are actually stating on their website that they have created their Inspired by Creed Aventus from one of the 2018 batches. As far as notes go, they're pretty much the same notes. This one does have the birch, which should give the fragrance that smokiness, but it's very soft, that smokiness. It's more of a fruity batch, like I said, and I prefer the fruity batch from the Inspired by fragrances because none of the clones have managed to recreate that really nice smoky batch Aventus. Instead, what I was getting from the smokiness from the clones, it was this rotten pineapple smell, which was not good. But I'm glad that they stick with the fruity batch, and I like that they have something different with that opening. Unfortunately, that opening doesn't last that long, and in the dry down it smells like the traditional dry down of Creed Aventus, the fruity batch Creed Aventus. The performance of this one was and is really strange. As you probably will notice, this one I have been using more than the others just because I wasn't able to decide whether the performance of this fragrance was good or bad or very good, because when I initially sprayed it on my arm, in 2 hours it was sitting really close to the skin and it was almost completely gone. And then I sprayed it again on my arm, it was the same story, and then I went with a full day of wearing, spraying it on my neck, and I got a very good performance. This one seemed to perform better when sprayed on behind of my neck, when I got about 10 hours of longevity. The projection was constant, but I was getting whiffs mainly when I was moving around. And in general, all three fragrances, they are extrait de parfum. I would say that they have a very good performance, especially the other two, where I was getting again past 10 hours of longevity with constant good projection, and this one still remains a mystery. I would say it just has a good performance on the neck, but on my arms, I would say as a conclusion that they are of a high quality, and also they can easily compete with the other established brands which produce inspired by fragrances at the same price range, and also they can easily be compared to the original fragrances that they were inspired by, and they still, even though they are on the more expensive side, they still cost about half of the price of the original product. Now, them being from Australia, you're probably wondering about the shipping costs. I've noticed while browsing through their website that they offer free shipping within Australia on orders over $100, and also they are offering free worldwide shipping on orders over $200. Now, because I decided to do this review for them, they are offering a code through which you can get a 20% discount. And now we're actually reaching the end of this video. If you have tried these fragrances, or when you are going to try these fragrances, I'm looking forward to your opinion on them. And until then, until you actually try the fragrances, and until the next video, guys, just keep smelling.